All right, we are live. Welcome to another episode of your favorite after church podcast, the No Key podcast. I'm your man Spaces.
Hey, I go by your boy Ma.
It's Jay every day.
What's good, man? How was y'all? How was y'all last week?
None to report from me. I'm good. I was cool. I was Gucci.
It was good, man. A boxing Lamont Roach took a draw. You know, another draw for Lamont Roach. Not sure if y'all familiar who he was, but he's the guy who fought Tank Davis previously and got a draw from that. And then, man, Ohio State lost, man. ah,
Well,
Indiana got it. Hey, but that was their fault. Should they missing field goals and stuff? So it is what it is.
yeah, Indiana. That really should have been not even close. Indiana way though. When you looked at the whole game, Indiana was driving, doing everything they need to do.
Yeah,
Indiana really supposed to put belt their ass. I ain't gonna lie to you.
yeah. So, but good game either way. But the week itself, we got us some more snow, and
Nice.
that's about it, man. So, how about you, Spaces?
I forgot to tell y'all last week. I went to see Corey Holcomb.
Oh
Um,
yeah, what was he? Oh, at the Improv.
yeah, about like 8 days ago now, on a
Okay,
Friday. Yeah, dude. Oh my god,
hilarious.
dude is crazy. Dude is crazy. But yeah, hilarious, gut busting laugh. It was.
He does his best
Yeah,
work when he's in a smaller setting. I think a lot of them do.
yeah. It's because it's like you got to put on more of a show when there's more people there.
Yeah.
When you can
Because
Not,
just
I saw him last year at the Chicago Theater, and although he was good, like maybe it was the rest of the acts. Like I kind of fell asleep.
like I did with Gary Owen.
Yeah, what was it 85 South where they hit last week? I think they were
Yeah, it was
here.
like
Once they show.
probably so. Probably so. Probably
Yeah.
so. You're probably right.
So my sisters and my sister and cousin they went, and my sister she fell asleep on their show. Like shit don't be funny. Like Chicago, a hard city to because we all a bunch of us are comedians anyway, right? We always got something funny to say, and so it's kind of hard to I guess it's kind of hard to I guess maybe appease us in a comedic way. So yeah, she fell asleep. I told her before she went there. I'm like, do you even listen to them like that? Because they like podcasts funny, but like to me, like actual stand up and trying to move a whole crowd. I think they were at the Wintrust Arena. Like that had to be kind of difficult, and they felt like they cheated them. Like the rest of the show, like they cut out early. They felt like they did like a 45-minute show for 'em.
ain't no way, bro.
Yeah, yeah. Like, yeah, they had other people on there earlier, right? But them actually being on shows like 45 minutes this year.
No, but you. I don't like going when I like going to comedy shows. I like the comedy clubs. I don't like arenas and all that because it's like you're really just trying to get all the money you can get from doing an arena and comedy. It's not really like I like when we went to see Corey Holcomb. We went to Milwaukee. I like comedy clubs because it's more intimate. You get the feel, the energy of the crowd and everything. You really feel it. Arena is really hard to feel that.
Right.
It's not. It's not. It's not. It's not. I guess I don't know how I'm trying to say it, but I guess it's just you don't feel the energy.
Yeah, because I follow them on Instagram and they interact with a lot of people individually,
Yeah.
and they switch the camera around the arena, and you see while they're making jokes, a lot of people are sitting there straight faced, like they're not thinking that whatever they're talking about is funny. So
So they do a lot of, just, I don't know, maybe that's DC Young Fly. He do a lot of whining and shit. That shit ain't funny, you know?
Yeah, I don't really. Only one I really want to go see out of them three is Carlos Miller. I know Carlos Miller funny as hell on stage.
yeah, Carlos, I'll see him. I'll see him live for sure.
Yeah, I go see him.
All right, man, we're gonna get into this first subject. So this is one that was sent to us by Maul. It was an Atlanta inventor by the name of Julian Brown turns plastic waste into fuel called Plastoline. All right, let's see. Let's check it out.
That's the one.
23 Scat Pack right here. It's on E. She's gonna try to start it to show we got no fuel in this thing.
Everybody, move back some, move back some. Move back.
It ain't starting up.
Here we go.
History in the making, baby.
Plastoline.
Okay. I think that's it.
All right, we think that's it.
All right.
All right, it's empty.
Hey, are you scared?
I am.
Okay. Have some faith. You got it.
I got faith.
All right.
I'll start it. Hit it.
Everybody clear the way, clear the way.
Exhilarating, to see it work. I knew it was gonna work, but I didn't know it was gonna work that well, that easy, that smooth. We saw that thing was on E. It would not start. We put the Plastoline in there. It started. It sounded great. It did everything it was supposed to do. We knew. Doing this for 5 years, I always knew plastic was fuel. But to actually see it in application and do it live in front of hundreds of people, thousands of people, you gotta sometimes have some faith, even beyond what you know and what you think you know. But I'm just so happy that everybody was able to make it out and experience this with me too.
All right, let's see. So, Ma, you sent this to us. Did you have any particular thoughts about it, or?
No, I just want to get y'all general thoughts of it. Like, how do y'all really feel about it? Like, what y'all think? Y'all think is true, false, fake? What do you think? What are your thoughts about the whole video?
Desiree, what's up? She said,
Desiree, what's happening?
My Ravens are
Desiree,
getting I'm not in a good mood.
No, hey, the Ravens gonna be all right. Don't worry about it, Desiree. Ravens gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay.
What's
I'm
up,
rooting for
Desiree?
them too.
D Money, what's good? What's good?
D Money, what's happening?
What's happening?
Oh, so this came across my purview a while back, and I actually wanted to talk about it. I always forget, man. So much stuff be going on. Anyway, but no, I need more. I would need to see this. Obviously, you see this, and it's like, okay, this is great. Like, this is a great idea. And even more than just him being the inventor of it, but it's on the side of look at the. Hold on, let me make from a plastic waste standpoint. From a plastic waste standpoint, this would be a great thing. Where my brain went with it was, how does this actually work as it pertains to the engine of the car itself, or the fuel system of the car itself? Because I don't want to be the one to say, like, right off the bat and say that's going to mess up your engine. But I don't know how this works. I'm confused. I need to see this in practice on the long term, over a year, over 2 years, see how how it affects people's cars. But then also, by doing this, he's disrupting the fuel industry, the gasoline industry. So just like Maul said, I imagine this is why Maul said, I'm nervous about him, or whatever. I'm not sure exactly what he said, but I'm nervous about him. So that's my thoughts for now. I'm going to try to find a video that I saw earlier about it.
Yeah, I think it's a good job by the young man as far as inventing. It's good that we still got some young minds out here trying to just figure some things out. Also, I'm like Mom said, I'm a little nervous for the dude because of the oil industry. It being so powerful. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money that's used to stop inventions and things like this. I think a while ago he was almost, I think it was like reported missing. You know what I'm saying? What was that, like maybe 6 months ago? Y'all familiar with that? If not, it's okay. But I think he was
Yeah, I heard
reported
about it.
missing. But just in general, like I said, I think it's a good job well done. To your point, Spaces, I am curious as far as how well it's gonna, work over the years, especially in the new later model cars. Um, you know, 5, 10 years, and is my car full of plastic? But I'm sure there's some kinks or whatever they got to work out. But I'm not sure if they're even gonna allow something like this. Might just be something fringe where those people that know about it, they know about it, and that's it. Like But again, good job, well done for the young man.
I'm on the sentiment of both of y'all. I agree with both of y'all, but I just put on the level of, bro, if this is real and this is like this, they didn't took motherfuckers off this earth for less. So I don't want to speak harm and put the black cloud over my brother. Like Jerry Day said, it's great to know that invention and all that other stuff. And like you said, two Spaces, like, is my car gonna fuck up with me using this fuel and all that other stuff? Because, bro, you create that type of fuel or whatever, that's like $1 trillion industry.
Facts.
Like motherfucker get you off this earth for $100. Imagine $1 trillion.
$50.
Thank you. Like, for real. Like, motherfucker get you up out of here gone for like that low of money. And you talking about you infiltrating an industry that don't look nothing like you at all. A young black man with dreads is not the industry of oil. Them all cowboys and white people, bro. Like that's I know I might sound, to some people might be a little ignorant, but like, it's just, to me, I've seen so much things of people getting up out of here, and you go down the rabbit hole of inventors inventing this, like the dude who invented the car or the water that end up in the shooting in the Buffalo and all that. Like, it's all this type of stuff that goes on, and conspiracy theories is like, is it really? I don't know.
And then on top of that too, it's like when he first, my curious mind wants to see the process. And I'm not saying that, I would expect him to, keep that all concealed and secretive or whatever, which is cool. How do you turn plastic into a liquid? Much less gasoline or a liquid that is, how do I say, a liquid that is complex enough to make cars run. How does that happen?
Mm-hmm.
Jerry, you were about to say something. I think you came off mute.
Yeah, no, all I was gonna say was, it just takes revolutionary people, though. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times when you're inventing things, you can't be scared, right? So yeah, it takes revolutionary people. Some people are willing to put their life on the line for things that they invent. This is their invention. And yeah, they're willing to put their life on the line. So if that's what he's willing to do, then hey, I'll be, so be it.
Let me go here. Hold on. So this is along with what you just said, Jerry Day. All right.
Have been making waves online, as the inventor of Plastoline hasn't posted anything since his last cryptic messages. On July 9th, Julian warned followers he was under attack and then vanished from social media. Now his mother is finally speaking out. In an exclusive with the Daily Mail, Nina Brown said, "I can confirm Julian is safe, but in the best interest of his security, I'm not able to provide any more information." Julian made headlines for Plastoline, a device that turns plastic into gasoline, diesel, even jet fuel. His invention went viral for its positive impact on the environment, and despite Brown still not posting any new videos, fans can put the theories to rest, knowing he is safe, according to his mom. Share your thoughts below and
So even with it being, I was thinking just regular gas, like equivalent to Naps and Beauty was good.
What's going on, sister? Every day.
So I was just thinking on regular gas, right? Just a regular sedan. But they said diesel and even jet fuel. How like that comes with you also understanding the workings of jet engines, right? Because is this something that you can just, is this a liquid that you're saying you can just put in cars to make them run, or have you tested it, sir? These are genuine questions because I don't know.
Look, isn't that what they were doing?
If and like this is along the lines of what they said, there's a lot of trial and error in the process, right?
Yeah.
What does that trial and error entail? Is this putting this stuff in people's cars and then the car messes up and then they're just out of luck and they got to buy a new car? Because I would wager that there's nothing that he has in place to protect the people that try this out. Granted, it's a new idea. I'm thinking practicality right now. Naps and Beauty said the big boys gave him 3 taps on the shoulder. I was trying to find a video where I saw him talking about how he had helicopters, and it might even been one in the video that I saw, but I guess it might have gotten taken down. But like helicopters were circling around his house. So I did. Do you think, okay, do you guys think this is can be a case of whatever it is that you're doing, keep it off of the internet?
I think that about everything. So you can't ask me that.
Yeah, I think until you really get, some backing behind you or whatever. But even then, man, I mean, even before the internet, they were marking people. This is before the internet. Like somebody catch wind that you're doing something that's going against the industry or whatever. They're gonna do what they can to get you up out of there, right? Let's say even Michael Jordan, right? So Michael Jordan has a lawsuit. He has a litigation going on with NASCAR. Well, NASCAR has been historically white, right? And Michael Jordan is shaking that up. So whatever he has going on as far as the litigation, like it lets you know, like, I mean, we're going to keep the industry the way we're trying to keep the industry the way it is. We don't want anybody intruding on what we have going on and how we make our money.
And you said he's getting into NASCAR?
He's already
he's in NASCAR right now. He has litigation going on against NASCAR. As far as, I think it's discrimination or something, a whole bunch of things. So
genuine question, because I did not know this. What is he doing in NASCAR? What is he doing?
Yeah, owner.
Yeah, you're owner. He's from North Carolina. If you're familiar with North Carolina is huge as far as, I mean, the South in general, but North Carolina has like plenty of little motorways and racetracks and stuff like that. That's what they do out there.
But yeah, like I think ain't North Carolina kind of the birthplace of that though?
Yeah, I think it's kind of the capital. Like
it's like the capital. It's the capital. Yeah, I think it is.
We rode past Charlotte Speedway and the thing is massive.
Yeah, that's a big thing down there. That should generate a lot of money too.
Yeah, it's out right out. So it's in, I think, Concord, North Carolina. So yeah, I actually wouldn't mind realizing like the proximity it is to Charlotte. Whenever next time I'm in Charlotte or something, if I'm that way in the summertime or something, I might try to plan something around there. I like to go to shit like that, man. How white people looking at me, man. Like I ain't supposed to be there.
We gotta do the NASCAR thing.
Yeah, we're gonna definitely do. Yes, we gotta do the NASCAR. I want to do NASCAR, Daytona, right? And I want to get.
That's the big boy. That's the big boy right there.
And I want to get real funky with you. I want to go to Talladega.
you talking now? You talking? Yeah. We on some real white boy stuff now, boy. We on some real white boy stuff. Get out the
middle.
So he's an owner. Okay, I didn't know that. That's news to me. But hopefully, this is, with his mom, Julian Brown's mom, saying that he's safe and he's on, for his safety, he's staying off the internet and, staying in enclosed or, private locations or whatever. Hopefully he's still okay. Hopefully that's not just her or somebody saying something and this thing we'll know what happened when there is an announcement of some sort that there's a new brand of fuel on the market. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm just saying because that's typically what happened. Because I was actually watching a Diddy documentary, and it was.
Did he do it?
I mean, it was more of what we already knew, what we've already seen so many times in the media.
That's 50 Cent shit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was more of what we already knew what was going on, people and their testimonies about their experiences with them. But it just reminded me like of how, generally speaking, on multiple different fronts, when there's a new innovative idea that comes out, the person who was the original face of it disappears, it goes away for a second, and then it gets rebranded and renamed, and the original face is gone.
Right.
So I'm just hopefully he's all right. Hopefully this doesn't happen and everything goes well with him.
You know, that reminds me, like, since we're kind of on it, like, I'm sure you've seen the guy, he makes like tender ribs and shit like that. And it's falling off the bone.
Yeah, he starts freaking out.
Yeah. And the whole time I'm thinking this guy's restaurant. You know, it's not his restaurant. It's some white people's restaurant. He's promoting, so he has falling off the bone ribs and oxtail and all this other, and this is his food. He's the cook or the chef or whatever, but this is their restaurant. You know, and then I don't know. It rubs me the wrong way every time I see his videos now. It's like, you know, whatever, I guess. So,
yeah, man, I just hope it like I said, I hope it all goes well for him, man, because I don't want to say too much because you know how the internet is. I don't want to say too much, but big ups to him, and I'm glad he was able to do that, and I hope it all works out from the end of his personal health as well as him retaining the patent for it and it becoming lucrative for him. But that's a sad reality. That's a sad punch in the face. I thought he's the chef. The buddy was the chef in white people's restaurant.
yeah, you know, and that kind of got exposed, you know. But the food still looks good. It's just that, like, man, all that talent you have your own restaurant.
Yeah. You cook out your kitchen.
Basically.
Because that's one thing black people will goddamn support is a goddamn food restaurant.
Yeah, black people will support until the next one come around.
All right, you guys got anything else? We rolling through them today.
Go ahead, keep going.
All right, thank you guys for kicking with us.
Go Bears.
Go Bears.
I heard the Bears doing all right.
They is, but we got a critical game today, though. We need to win this game.
Yeah, we got to beat the Packers.
Yeah.
Fuck all that.
Shit don't matter if you don't beat the Packers. And I ain't talking about once. I'm talking about twice.
Right.
Fuck all that other shit. Beat the Packers. You can lose every game, but don't lose the Packers, goddammit.
You feel me?
Are we like? Don't we have like a losing streak against the Packers? I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
For sure.
All right. Thank you guys for kicking with us. Hit the like button, share this with 2 people, let them know that your favorite After Church podcast is live. We have another subject that was sent to us by Maul.
Damn, you just gonna go all in, just put me out here all mad in a row?
This is just how I loaded it up.
Okay,
I just sent them as I saw them. All right, so you want to ask the question beforehand or after?
After.
All right, let's check it out. Oops, wrong button.
Oh yeah, I like these type too because it's more of original how we started instead of doing all that other shit.
Demonize the idea of like being content. You know what I'm saying? Like if a motherfucker is like I'm content, like we look down on that person. You know what I'm saying? Like but why do we look down on that person? They cool. You know what I'm saying? But nothing in this society tells you just to be cool. It tells you to keep going and get more. So I try to ground myself in that idea that like I'm straight, bro.
Not only have they demonized content, at the same time, they've also convinced us that any sign of like struggle in life either means you doing something wrong or you being punished or you're not working hard enough. And it's like there's a line in the Quran that says like man was made for toil and struggle. Yeah. So when I'm able to ground myself in the fact that like, yo, my life is gonna be a series of struggles, then it like
All right, Ma, you sent that to us. What question did you have?
My question is it ever okay to be content? And if you are content, is that okay?
That's beauty. I think that's up to the individual. I think most people want more than where they are in life. I think for those who, this actually goes into, I think it's the question that I had. We can ask that next, I think. But I think it depends on the person. I think, if you want more in life, then you can't be content with where you are, because content is basically saying, I'm okay with where I am. I'm not going to do more. I'm definitely not going to do less to where it would affect or change my life. And I'm good with where I'm at. If I make it to 100,000 a year, then I'm okay with being 100,000 a year. On the flip side, it's like somebody may make it to 100,000 and they'll turn around and say, all right, let me see if I can make it to 175. So I think it depends on the person. However, I don't think it's ever okay to be content with basically borderline poverty. Like if you're making just enough to make it to pay from paycheck to paycheck kind of thing, I don't think that's ever okay. But if you're talking,
why? If I just want to put you a little pushback. Why? If you cool, like if you doing with your thing, you cool with everything around you. Why isn't it okay?
Because at that point, it'd be tough for me to believe that you're prepared for the randomness that happens in life.
For the randomness?
Yeah, randomness, like something that happens with your car, something that happens with any type of. I mean, there's certain things, okay, that applies to that person, right? That person can fix cars, but there are substantially more things, randomness and random things that can happen in life that people aren't prepared for. Or what if it just so happens that you get into a car collision and you off work for a month?
But a lot of people down south live off the land though. So even though you're making that little bit of money, that's just a little bit of money for this. Like they really, like we forget that major cities have a lot of people in them because it's major cities, but a lot of this land is unoccupied with people that just live off the land.
Yeah.
So if that's that person that live off the land, I understand, but I don't want to get too much into it. I just want to give a little pushback. That's all. But I'm sorry.
Even with that too, right? You live off the land. It takes time for you to be able to live off the land, right? Like let's just say you have a farm and you farm animals. That's how you get your whatever food you eat, like Paul's meats you eat, right?
You eat meats. I'm just go ahead though.
It takes time for the animals to grow. It takes time for your plants to grow.
Okay.
And again, what if you're in a physical condition where you can't move? Are you prepared? Do you have enough to where you can stabilize yourself or maintain your life without you being able to work or provide for yourself? So I think when it comes to like borderline poverty, you might, if it works for you, it works for you. You should definitely have more than just like one paycheck to the next.
Yeah, so I think that mediocrity, you should never be content with, mediocrity. But, just paycheck to paycheck is fine. I mean, if that's what you want to do, then that's fine. I mean, because at the end of the day, man, like people want more a lot of times only because somebody else has more.
Whew.
You
Say
know
it
what I
again.
mean? A lot of people want more a lot of times because somebody else has more.
Oh, because
Your
they see
friend
other
has
people.
more, right? So your friend has more. Somebody in your family, a sibling, somebody has more. So now all of a sudden you want more, right? And the issue is wanting more. A lot of people don't have the skill and too lazy to develop the skill to go get more, right? So then this is how you get a whole bunch of people in debt and stuff like that because they're trying to keep up with the Joneses. So I mean, I think in life, though, at the end of the day, you're going to become content at a certain point anyway in life, right? Even when in relationship, you're going to become content. That means because it's not always content. Being content isn't always about financial, right? It's also about relationships. Because to say, "Well, I'm not content in something," means that you always are striving and looking for more. So you can. So you got to tell me that the person that you're with eventually is like, okay, I'm not looking for more. That's just it. So, that's kind of why I'm at with it. I think it's okay to be content. Just don't be content with mediocrity.
Oh, I can kind of agree with both of y'all. I can smoke a bag of both of that. What y'all saying, especially with you, Jerry. That you hit me with that. People only see more because they want more, and that go back to this thing. I was listening to this dude. And he was like, when we were growing up, we didn't know we were poor because everybody around us was poor. So we were just like living life. We didn't know that we didn't have much as other people because that's where we was from. Everybody was doing the same thing that we were doing. So when you start to see other people with more of this, like I always say, the internet fucked up a lot of people because people start seeing everything that's going on around them and they started wanting more. When sometimes that's not in your cards. You get cards in life, and sometimes that's not in your cards. Not saying that you shouldn't strive for more, not saying that you should want for more, not saying that you shouldn't want for mediocrity. But if you're content with that, who am I to tell you that you shouldn't be content with that? If you didn't went through the motions, you didn't went through everything you didn't went through, who am I to tell you, nah, you shouldn't be content with that? If that's what you want to be content with, that's cool. I know my threshold, I know my level, I know what I want to be at, I know what I want to be comfortable with and all that other stuff. So I can agree with what both of you guys said, and especially with what Jay Everyday said when he said people only want more because they see more and they see other people. It's like kind of being greedy. The more you see, the more you want.
I think most people want more than where they're at.
Probably
right?
so.
I think most people want more than what they're at. And I think I agree, but from a different angle, right? I agree that people want other things that people have, or people only, like he said, I might put that on a thumbnail. People only want things because other people have things. So what was it, Jay, every day? I might have to play it back.
Yeah, people only want more because others have more.
Because they see more.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but essentially it's because other people have more. So
Yeah.
you're basically, just the race as far as competing with the Joneses, right? And I guess my question to you, Spaces, is it's always the why. If a person is doing, pretty well off, why does a person want more? What are you trying to fulfill? And I think once you get into fulfillment of, what you're supposed to be doing in your own life, then you get content. So I think the focus should really be on fulfillment and what you should be trying to accomplish in your life.
So I think what the lens I'm coming through is people want more, but a lot of times they want more, but they don't want the work that comes with having more.
I like that.
Because like a lot of people, I remember a conversation that I was having with somebody, and it was on a group of people, and some of them were saying, I want to get to this six digits or whatever, 6 figures a year, so I can I want to make more money, but then work less.
That's not how that works.
That's what I was trying to tell him.
That's not how that works.
That's what I was trying to tell him. You can't tell me that you started working 70 hours a week to get to $200,000 a year, and then once you get to $200,000 a year, you drop down to 40.
I don't think they know that CEOs and the owner of your business, you're on call 24/7. CEOs are always on call. Even if you're not doing physical work like we are, you're still answering emails. You still got to stress about, is the business still going the way it's going? Like, you don't understand all that plays a part into it too.
Are they working harder than you though?
What you mean?
And if you just happen to be on call 24/7, are they working harder than you? Because I feel like people who really who make a lot of money, if we're talking about CEO, let's just put in the CEO aspect of it.
Okay.
I would assume that CEOs, granted they are on call and they have other things to stress about. I assume like they're not, and maybe maybe it's a physical thing, but I think them working or us working 50, 60, 70 hours a week. My bad. I lost my train of thought, man. This motherfucker.
I think you were trying to talk about the physicality of which a regular worker might work, which the physicality of a CEO might work.
Hold on, man. Hold on real quick. This motherfucker behind me finna blow the fuck out of me.
Put you on pause. Let me put you on mute. But
what the fuck?
the
fuck wrong with you, nigga?
I think Jay every day was trying to go by the sense of the physicality of working, which even though the CEO is sitting up there answering emails, he's still just clicking, reading, which is another type of exhaustion than me physically lifting up boxes and putting them on the belt and other things like that. We're still doing the same work, but one is more physical than the other. I think that's what Jay every day was trying to. I guess when he get back on here, he'll go ahead and say it, but I think that's where he was coming from. What about you, Space?
That's what I was thinking. I was actually thinking the same thing, but from a different lens. I was thinking, who did more work between these two people? They both work 40 hours a week. Who did more work? The person that is a construction worker or the person that is a front desk secretary?
It all depends on who you ask too. I think they both did probably the same amount of work. One just did it where it was more physically exhausting. The other one might have did it where it's more mentally exhausting.
And that's what I think. That's what I was thinking when Jay Everyday just asked the question.
Yeah.
Are they doing, like you said, are they doing more work
I'm back.
Physical? Okay.
Yeah, my bad. My fuckers out here stupid. But anyway, like I mean, would you dare to say that any manager that you've worked with, doesn't even matter what job, but they've put in more work than you? Like, do you even mentally? You know what I'm saying? Even mentally, do you think their job is more difficult than your job?
It's all like depending on, I guess, the days, because if they had to maneuver some stuff around or change this or worry about if you're getting back this and worry about if you're doing that, it all depended on the days and stuff though, right? Because I just can't say.
I'm not saying every day is going to be an easy day with anybody. But what I'm saying is that I feel like, I think that people leverage, their energy, like, their physical energy for, like, they leverage their physical energy. I had it in my head, man. I'm not sure how I can put it. But I just don't feel like, CEOs and those guys like that, they're working as hard as just your everyday person. I just don't feel like that. I don't, I think they have their, things that they have to do. I don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they're not important to the job, but to me, what they're doing is never more important than the actual people that's on the ground. And I get it. Maybe if you're the CEO or you're the person who created the company, you should very well, enjoy your fruits, right? Because you're the creator. But I think that when you get to a certain point, right? What's this? Because I don't want to use his name, but name whatever CEO, they're not going to be, I don't feel like they're going to be stressing as much as, just your common everyday person. And I think that's just because, what type of money is being made behind it too, right?
Yeah. Now I agree with you when you say, what do you say? The fruits of your labor and it's who is more important. I agree with you on that. I agree the people on the boots on the ground are way more important than the CEO and all that. I agree with you. Because if the people on the ground don't get the work to bring that, the CEO has nothing to manage and nothing to do, no emails to write. So I agree with you on that level. When you say it like that, yes, I totally agree. But I think everybody work hard in their own thing. And I think some people have more likes days than others. I think some jobs are more physically straining on your body and everything than other jobs that are more mentally draining. So I can agree with you in some thoughts. In some thoughts, I agree with and understand where you're coming from.
Bill Burr said it in his I think it was his being a mother bit. He said any job you can do in your pajamas is not a hard job. So, and to that degree, I think physically demanding jobs are more draining on you than mental focused jobs. It's the stuff you have to do, like a construction worker versus I don't even know what to. Huh?
Secretary?
Yeah, I was gonna say secretary, but I was thinking of something else. But I think a construction worker for 40 hours would be more physically drained. Oh, that's in beauty. Okay. So first D Money said they once worked hard to get to the CEO position, but it's definitely less work than someone working in a company for that CEO.
I think CEOs jump around and be CEOs from CEOs. Like, I don't think people move from the bottom up anymore. You see what I'm saying? I don't.
That's true. That's true.
It's all about who you know. So if I know, like, if I graduated from Pennsylvania University, not Penn State, Pennsylvania University,
not the Penn State,
not Penn State, right? not the state Penn, not the state Penn. But I graduated from Penn, right? So I already had this on my resume or whatever, and I already get a certain amount of points. Maybe I'm a part of some type of fraternity or sorority or something like that. People also forget, like, those fraternities, those sororities, they're going to put you in a position, those social networks going to put you in some type of position where, you have better opportunities than just, that regular person who may have went to Penn State, and yeah, they can also join fraternities and stuff as well. But what I'm saying is that, like, you get a chance to meet different people, especially like the different schools that you go to. You go to University of Chicago, or you go to some other Ivy League school. You're gonna get put in certain positions and meet people where you don't have to start as a bus driver to become the CEO of CTA, right? You're gonna get put probably in some type of middle management up or upper management, and then work your way into CEO status or COO status. And I think, to me, once you get into upper management, or management in general, it's all about who you can blame the failures on. You know what I mean? Covering your back, you know what I mean? And okay, well, I'm gonna blame him. Cover your ass, right? Send these emails and point fingers at such and such for not being able to produce.
So Nepson Beauty said that's not true, IMO. I think she said she disagrees with me when I said more often than not, physically demanding work is more draining to you than mentally demanding work. So that's Beauty. If that's the case, then let me know what you mean. D Money said she agrees. Okay. But yeah, man, I think going back to the original question, I think, man, it's like most people want more, but a lot of times they want more than whatever situation they're in, but a lot of times they don't know what more looks like. It can be for them specifically, or it can be more in general, right? So like somebody that lives in a apartment may want to have a house, but they don't know what kind of house they like for them. They don't know what kind of house that, you know, is better than the other for their overall situation. They don't know, but that also connects to J.V. Day's point. They may only want a bigger house because they see that other people have bigger houses.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So no, I think generally speaking, I kind of retract my statement, my first statement. I think people should always strive to do better or be better. No matter what it is. Like if it's some people are professional students where they like to just be in school.
Right.
Unless
Yeah.
you
I know some people like that.
Yeah, like if you you take classes and you get a certification in whatever field of study that you studied in, and you never go to school again, you never apply that to you getting a better job or anything. Nah, I think you should either apply what you studied for and what you paid for in school, or take more classes and keep learning, keep growing until you get to the physical incapability of doing more. Like I think it was a story a while ago. It was a lady that was like 67 or 70 or 80 years old, got her bachelor's degree or something. I think we all heard that story, but
yeah.
Let's see what Nasty Beauty said. CPA versus professional driver. Both are needed. Both are draining fields of work. Both pays well. One is physically demanding and the other is mentally demanding. What's CPA?
A certified public accountant.
Oh. Okay. I'm going back to what you said.
Sister every day, I think a professional driver is both though. Because I think you got to be mentally and physically, because you still got to do things and all that other stuff. So I think a professional driver is like both to me. What you think, Jerry Day?
I think in the situation, it's definitely field to field. So, you know, I think a CPA they're responsible, they're hands-on. Right. And I think we were talking about CEOs and upper management. When I think about CPAs or somebody like that, I think they have to. It's definitely more mentally draining than physically draining, right? Because you are sitting there. But but they're crunching numbers. You see what I'm saying? They're crunching numbers, and they do have to make sure that they got to make sure they carry the one. You know what I mean? They got to make sure. They got to make sure they ain't putting too many zeros or not too many zeros, whatever. So I mean, they have
make sure
their
the
own
decimal
little
point in the right place.
Right. The decimal points in the right place. They have, they have their own issues. But as far as like I said, upper management and stuff like that, and CEOs, I don't. To me, I don't. Unless again, I'm not striving to be a manager. Maybe I'm content, but I'm not striving to be a manager. But I just don't see them working as hard as far as And we were talking about being progressive and making money, and I think certain times you get put in these positions and then you make the money. Like there's people out there at UPS that'll work their ass off. They'll put in 70 hours a week, right? They'll, and deliver hundreds of boxes a day, but he's not going to make nearly as much as somebody who's in maybe upper management. Now, somebody tell me what a person in upper management does. I'm sure they have because everybody can't be responding to emails. Like the fuck is all these emails? What are we all responding to emails about? Like about what?
He say all these emails we're responding to.
Yeah. That's all. I mean, from what I've heard about management, everybody's just responding to emails. You know what I'm saying? It's just, everybody's CCing and blind CCing each other.
That's true. I'm with you on that though. I can rock with that, but I still think it's. I get where you're coming from. I get all angles, and I get what Sister Every Day saying with the CPA, because that's stressful, and we want them to be, especially when I get me one, I want you to be in the most comfortable thing when you're dealing with my money. You feel me? Don't
Yeah.
put my zeros in the wrong spot. So I'm gonna make sure you're good and you're comfortable and you're not stressed and everything is going good because I don't need you messing up my money. So I think all the jobs are true, and I get exactly what Jay Everyday saying when he say, you know, a lot of these companies, even though you say like the CEO bounced from CEO to CEO, because that's what it is right now, though. Because you know, when you start doing the stock market, you start seeing Apple CEO get pitched by Microsoft CEO because they want some of the things that Apple has done. They want to bring it over to that, so they want to get him, and they study cherry picking off each other CEO. So it ain't never really a new CEO that's really coming. They all keep just fishing and get, because CEO kind of stands for hope, because they can pass around like that. Whoever got the highest money, that's what they do.
Right.
It's go jump to jump. So I understand where Jay, they're coming from, where you say the CEOs are not like what they used to be no more, or it's not as draining as the people that's actually got the company on their back and that's actually interacting with people, making sure they stay, customers stay, and all that other stuff. So I kind of get it.
Yeah, and I think that people really are, like I said, people are followers. People are, and not to say I've never followed or something in life, because I'm sure I have, but when people are followers, people gonna do what they see the next person do. People like hype beasts. You guys familiar with the term hype beast? It's really a term really endured for shoes. And there'll be some shoes that maybe a celebrity will drop, is like the Travis Scott Jordan's collab with Jordan. And somebody might want those, right? Normally them shits is ugly, right?
That's
But
just not
they Travis
all them
they
Travis
Travis
Scott.
Scott, right? They Travis Scott's somebody celebrity wear them, and you can resell them and all that. Not everybody wants them. Right, so they just falling in line, and to me, it's just like anything else. Like people with Tesla, or people with
Cybertruck.
a big, a Cybertruck, big ugly ass truck. It's a big ugly ass truck, and now all of a sudden, oh yeah, I want it just to say you have it. Right, or even iPhone, bro. Like, what I'm saying? I think I got what's this, a 14, 15? I forget, but these shits drop every year. All they do is add an extra camera. You know what I'm saying? They got like 10 cameras on the back of these shits now. They starting to put them on the front. It's like 12 cameras on the front end. I'm exaggerating, but what I'm saying is people just want the newest, latest, and greatest just because, it's the FOMO effect, right? The fear of missing out.
Yep.
You don't want anybody to have one up on you. So you'll never be content, right? And even if I use myself in an example, right? Anybody know me, I like my fragrances. And I have tons of them shits. Right. And having tons of fragrances, it seems like I'm never content with just the last purchase that I made. I may still like it, I may still enjoy it, but it's like crack, baby. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking for that first hit. Everybody got that crack.
Looking for the first smell. You looking for that first smell.
Yeah, that crack reference is for my people in the 80s and 90s, because they not, older people like 50, 60 years old, they familiar with crack.
And that's what I was trying to say at the beginning, but I couldn't get it out right. There's a difference in you being content or not being content with whatever you're going on, because like you said, people only want things because other people have things. But in one way or another, everybody's a follower, right? Like even with the whole podcasting thing.
To some degree, yeah.
The difference is when you take on that little aspect of following, what do you do with it? Do you make your whole identity as a copy of the person or people that you started podcasting for? You started doing whatever it is that you chose to do. Like, imagine if whoever your favorite rapper, Maul likes the Police, Jeezy. I'm just kidding. But I'm saying, like, imagine in 2026, somebody comes out sounding exactly like Jeezy. Like, even there's a singer, October London. He sounds exactly like, forget.
But would it be okay if you say I was influenced by them? Just like with Kobe. Okay. But just like with Kobe, like we can go with Kobe with the Kobe rap. Kobe was kind of the only thing closest to Mike, but everybody knew that Kobe loved Mike. So ain't some of that you're gonna rub off on you, so you're gonna kind of play like them?
To some degrees, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And I'm not. I would never deny that. That's just what happens. That's why actually a lot of people, whoever have their favorites and whatever it is they do, they stop listening to that person or stop, get them out of their purview because they don't want to sound like whoever it is that their influence is. Right. But the whole with music in particular, when I listen to a whole lot of music, it's like, okay, I hear this particular phrase, whatever the phrase is, this particular phrase across 25 different rappers. Are y'all all listening to each other? Do y'all all have the same rap? Do y'all all have the same ghostwriter, or what? Like, what's going on here? Y'all don't have no original thoughts. But let me get to
It's the formula. It's the formula. I feel like people. I'm gonna shovel this in a second. It's the formula. I feel like people are, especially if you talk about rappers. Rappers see the formula that's working, and it's like, well, shit. They getting followers and they're getting views. And let me go ahead and do that and copy that. And this society is basically grown to be just a whole bunch of copycats. It's like, again, like I just want to use fragrances because that's my thing, right? Everybody going into the clone routes as far as fragrances. I'm not sure if you guys will follow that, but everybody
Yeah.
likes to wear clone, right? And it's a copy of what somebody original artwork was. I mean, the way that I look at fragrances is art, and that's a copy of somebody's original work. And they see that formula works. People like, let's say, Baccarat Rouge 540, if you guys are familiar, or Aventus, right? Aventus is a Creed,
Creed, yeah.
right? So people know that formula works, but Creed is $300, $400, $500. We could turn around and make something that smells similar to that for, only a few, maybe a tenth of that.
But we can go to court for $50.
Yeah. And that's the crazy thing about fragrances is that you can't claim that intellectual property on a smell, I guess.
Let's see. D Money said, but then if you look at it in a different view, being content is not bad because it's like what you're doing is good enough. The dependency on that is how does that affect? Like if you're a person that lives alone and you don't have any children or whatever, and you make $50,000, and that's what like life is good for you, then cool. But if you're telling me you make $50,000 and you have yourself and 5 other people that you have to take care of, and you're telling me you're content with only making 50,
yeah, that's not cool.
But you gotta also realize, like, even moving up, man, there's only so many. It's only like, okay, say for instance you were a teacher, right? Well, we only get that one.
Is he cutting out for you?
Every day.
Okay.
He going in and out. But I'm on the lines of that. Like I'm gonna go back to my original thought. Who am I to tell you shouldn't be content? I just don't want to hear you complain about it. I ain't gonna try to hear that shit. That's the thing. I think that's the thing that everybody will run. It's not my job to tell you that you shouldn't be content.
Cultivate was good.
Cultivate, what's going on?
I'm gonna get back to your next comment, Cultivate. And she said, and you have those who sleep their way to the top or CEO position.
There's a lot of bottoms out there. There's a lot of bottoms out there.
D Money said, selling what? Wait a minute. But Cultivate is gonna tie. With this comment, she tied us into our next subject. She said, I agree, Spaces, but some people will settle for mediocre jobs because in reality, he or she is on the job selling man butt or lady parts and swear they own one, but are clearly very delulu. So thank you guys for kicking with us. Share this with 2 people. Let them know that your favorite After Church podcast is live. So this is a subject that I brought that came across my purview, and I know I brought it up. So did you guys watch the show Snowfall?
No, I didn't really get into it like that.
Okay, so this character, there was a character named Leon in there, and this guy came up with something that actually brought a question to my mind. So check it out.
Interview with the guy who plays Leon in Snowfall, and he says something that I need you to hear.
He's about to drop the one rule he learned from Leon from Snowfall that changes everything when you're down bad.
He said he was going for the audition for Leon, and he was standing in front of 15 execs. He was scared and he was nervous. He said he told himself, brother, you're broke. You can't be broke and scared. And I want you to understand this, bro. When you're in a messed up position, you're going down, declining, you're at rock bottom, you have no space to have pride or ego. A lot of y'all don't want to do certain things because I don't think it's gonna be cool. You're broke. When you're broke, you're supposed to be trying everything to get it out. Selling different products, get on TikTok live, do everything you can. Don't get comfortable with trying to be cool. And I ain't gonna lie, when I was broke, I made sure I made every type of content you can make. I'm like, man, something gotta work. And guess what? When it starts working, it get to working. So yeah, bro, don't be scared and broke. Pick one.
Is your fear the most expensive thing you own right now?
I just seen an interview.
All right, so let's see. This person sent the gift message. Let's see. Fear is the most expensive thing you own when you're broke. That's a bar right there. Bars. At some point, you got to pick a struggle. You're going to be scary, or is you going to get to the money? Yeah, people pretty much agree with this and from all through. So my question was, and if you want, you can. I have a particular specific scenario. It happened in real life. Do you know someone that has a particular situation that they're in? This ties into our, being content conversation. Who has a bunch of stuff that they're going through in life, is rooted back to them not making enough money, and you present to them the option of making money, or like present to them an opportunity where they can make more money, and they say, nah, I ain't gonna do that. Have you ever had that?
It's kind of mixed up with what you said. I kind of agreeing, but I look at it as this. I agree with a lot of the things said, and I agree with what you said, but sometimes if people morals don't line up with that, they don't line up with that. So you'll do, like, we'll do a lot of things, but if it don't line up with my morals, it just don't line up with my morals. And everybody has different morals. So if they say they morally, like, I can't do that morally. Like, I can't do that, even though I'm on my last, I'm out here on my hands or whatever like that. You can't do that because morally, it's going against what you think about morally.
But when I hear morals, I think something that would really be detrimental to your character. In this situation, I'm just talking about like a better job.
But still, I understand when you say, but we all don't have the same morals. We all don't have the same character. So that's kind of a dicey situation to me. Even though I understand where you're coming from, and I'll be looking at it too, but if you tell me to go against your morals, it go against your morals.
Oh no, I can't. Yeah, this one to me. So now, okay, I'll tell the situation. So this person was talking about how they have all these bills and all the stuff that they need to pay for, and how they've been working at their job for X amount of years. They've been working at their job for a long time. So I present to them, I say, you should do this. And doing this at a base level starts you substantially higher than what you're doing now.
What was the job? Can you say what the job was?
The job of trucking.
Okay.
This job starts you substantially higher than what it is that, and at a base level, it doesn't necessarily, it's not one particular company. It's at a base level, you're going to be making more money than what it is that you are now.
Okay, so what they do now? Can you say what they do now, or that's too much?
They work in a factory. I don't know. Actually, I genuinely don't know the name of the company, but they work in a factory, like like car parts.
Okay.
But you'll be making substantially more than what you're making now. All you got to do is this and this, and within a year or so, you'll be making more money than what you are. And they say, nah, I can't even do that.
But trucking is not for everybody, though.
And that's what that goes against what Buddy said in the video. Like, okay, cool. Trucking is not your thing. I'm not even gonna say trucking is your thing. You don't have okay. I'm leaning on the side of you don't really have too many options available to you outside of that has an easier barrier to entry. Trucking ain't for everybody, but it's better than what you're doing now.
But what if they can't do it though? Like it's not their thing to them to want to drive the big truck though.
So that comes to me. Do you want to make more money or not? Do you want to sit and complain about the fact that you're not able to do this and that and this and that? Because you're not, and this is generally speaking for anybody. If you have a set schedule at your job and you're complaining about how you're not making enough money for this and that, and you're not trying to get a second job to get more money for yourself, or you're not trying to get a better job, singular job that is better than the one that you're working at. This is going to what you say, Maul, about when you say, I think about complaining. You're going to do something or not? I'm trying to figure it out.
I agree. Stop all that complaining.
Yeah, but and I agree with you. You got to find something.
You can't be content and complaining.
You know what I'm saying? What you say?
You can't be content and complaining.
but what I'm trying to get to though is even though they're not for trucking and not for this and not for that, okay, what are we going to do now?
Right.
What are we going to do? It's going to sit here because after a while, I'm going to look at you like you stupid, like get the fuck out of my face. I don't got nothing else for you. Because if everything I bring up, you say you don't want to do and don't do this, and I'm steady bringing the ideas, and you steady talking about no. Okay, bro, I ain't got nothing else for you. I got to go to work. Driving trucks. Like, what you want me to do? So I understand where you're coming from, but everything is not for everybody. But if you keep complaining, I don't know what to tell you. I don't got nothing for you.
Go ahead, Jerry Day. You had got dropped down or whatever.
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah, no, I was getting a phone call, and it just kind of knocks you off when you get a phone call. But I forgot what I was even talking about. So you know what I'm saying? Y'all cats can move forward. I forgot what I was talking about even in that because I was going for
We
like
did
5
move
minutes.
to the other one. I think you don't probably see the video you want.
Okay.
I'll play the video again.
With the guy who plays Leon in Snowfall, and he says something that I need you to hear.
Okay. He's about to drop the one rule he learned from Leon from Snowfall that changes everything when you're down bad.
He said he was going for the audition for Leon, and he was standing in front of 15 execs. He was scared and he was nervous. He said he told himself, brother, you're broke. You can't be broke and scared. And I want you to understand this, bro. When you're in a messed up position, you're going down, declining, you're at rock bottom, you have no space to have pride or ego. A lot of y'all don't want to do certain things because I don't think it's gonna be cool. You're broke. When you're broke, you're supposed to be trying everything to get a dollar. Selling different products, get on TikTok live, do everything you can. Don't get comfortable with trying to be cool. And I ain't gonna lie, when I was broke, I made sure I made every type of content you can make. I'm like, man, something gotta work. And guess what? When it starts working, it get to working. So yeah, bro, don't be scared and broke. Pick one.
Is your fear the most
Okay. I mean, when I heard that, I kind of understood. I think you should, try everything that you can as far as, what your morals will allow you to. You just don't do shit for $1 because you broke. Don't agree with that. And then I feel like some people are they're broke because they want to be. Meaning, like, he's talking about, you do TikTok live, and all that other shit. Nigga, go get you a job at a brick and mortar and do that too. If you still like TikTok and all that dumb shit or YouTube or whatever, you do that too. You see what I'm saying? People I feel like we're heavily focused on this internet age where everybody's just trying to not get their fucking hands dirty. Bro, you got to get your hands dirty out here. You're not that, clearly you're not that broken hungry where, that you feel like you can't go do, X, Y, and Z. I just feel like you just don't stop. Hold on.
preach. You on the right track, because that's the same thing I said. I'm with you on everything you said, and I add to the thing where like what you said with the morals. Like if it's morally fucking you, like nah, I don't think you do that. I don't think you bend your morals for shit. I don't give a fuck what no money talking about. You just don't bend the morals. The morals is there. They don't go nowhere. But like you said, nigga, go get your hands dirty. I ain't never too proud to do anything, nigga. If shit falls today, nigga, like I told y'all when we talking about the car situation, yeah, I'll be in that car, but it won't be for long. I guarantee you that's not gonna be in no car for too long. The way I'm going to work 2 jobs. I don't got no time for nothing else. I ain't even got time to talk. I ain't got time for no friends. I ain't got time for no pussy. I ain't got time for nothing. I got time for work. That's it. Nothing else.
Work. Yes. Work. Yeah.
Yeah. All that. You like you saying, I'm gonna be an oily, greasy, big black motherfucker around here.
Yeah. And then we also got
all them Jordans and all that gotta go. Everything I gotta go. Only thing I'm keeping is you already know, but everything else gotta go. We ain't got no room for none of that.
But then also I look at it from a standpoint, the reason why a lot of people work hard is because they're not content with what they have, and they're working hard to keep up with what other people have. You see, so motherfucker may put in 60, 50, 60, 70, 100 hours in a week because you're trying to keep up with what somebody else has. You know, so people work themselves to an early grave. You know, I know personally, just, you know, where I work at, because I've been there for a long time. And there's a lot of younger brothers and sisters who've passed away because they worked and they died. And I know them personally.
Okay, you saying like if you don't go do nothing, all you do is work?
Well, I'm saying I'm not against work. What I'm saying is people, a lot of times people put in a lot of hours working to kind of compete to stay
okay.
and compete with what somebody else is doing. One thing I kind of got this is, you know, just secondhand information, but my aunt said, you know, because, you know, growing up, I guess my parents, you know, we just didn't have the best of car. And my aunt said, I think to my mother, like, you never know what somebody's doing to, you know, drive a car like that. You never know what you see what I'm saying? It doesn't necessarily have to be bad or illegal or something like that, but you never know what they're doing. Like, don't compare yourself and your situation to anybody else's. Sometimes you have to be content. If you're not willing to upgrade your skill set, then you have to be content to where you at. To me, just complaining ain't gonna work. Like, to me, if you're not willing to, you know what, let me go back to school, because we can always continue learning. You can always continue building. But if you're not willing to go forward and put the extra effort into it, you're content on where you're at. And that's fine. But don't be complaining about it either. That's what I'm saying.
You already know my motto. You know what I talk about, that complaining shit. I don't want to hear that shit.
And that's what, you know, it was crazy that I happened to see this, because I had just had that conversation with that person, and it's bothersome to an extent, because it's like that for a lot of people. Actually, you know what? Before I even go there, I pulled up the definition of morals, because I was like, I don't see how, when I hear morals, maybe it turns out it has more than one definition, but morals, I'm thinking like doing something illegal, but it's not that. So I was wrong. So I pulled up the definition, and it was the second one that applies to what we're talking about now. It said a person's standards of behavior or beliefs concerning what is and is not acceptable for them to do. And I agree with what you were saying, Maul. Like, the proper word is morals, but what can be immoral about doing something that is bettering you, that's not putting you in jeopardy or putting your safety or anything like that in jeopardy? It's like when you at a situation where you are borderline homeless or borderline broke or whatever the case, you got to do something.
Right.
This kind of goes into what I was saying last with the last subject. It's like, I'm not okay with somebody being content if they're borderline homeless.
Basically,
But I mean,
is
they can do
it
whatever
a
they want
way?
to do, of course.
Is it a way that the chat can call in? Let them call in. Let them ask their questions.
Let's see here. Hold on. Let's see. There you go. Hit the link, and you can keep your Cultivate. If you're trying to call in, you can keep your camera off so it doesn't show your face.
But shit, who like? But like you say, everything illegal you think is immoral. That what you said? Two spaces.
No, I was when you were saying immoral, and you said it depends on the morals, and I'm like, we're talking about somebody getting a better job. What's illegal about getting a better job? But my mind was in the wrong place.
Oh, you was equating immoral by illegal.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm like, yeah, it's like selling drugs, right?
Yeah.
Selling drugs is immoral. I thought.
To who?
When
it's only immoral to certain people, though. When I say everybody's morals change. Because some people it might be immoral to, some people it might not.
I think objectively it is. And people, justify it with, oh, I'm making money, or I'll make this amount of money, or I'm doing this for my family or whatever. Objectively it is.
I can't.
And I'm not talking about like over the counter type stuff that helps people get better when they
but
have some sort of injury.
Okay, so can we say some of our government do illegal mean immoral things when they push buttons that bomb babies and bomb all this other shit though? Is that immoral?
Immoral, yeah. I mean,
it's just a sticky slope. Like me and
I was about to say, that's dependency because if it's a matter of protection, then it can be debated. But if it's a matter of offense, then it's less of a conversation that can be had about it. Cultivate, you trying to cam up? Oh no, not cam up, but jump on the panel.
Jump on the panel, cam up.
Yeah, let's see how Cultivate look. I ain't never seen Cultivate before. Who was Cultivate? I just know her as the thing, but what's happening? We ain't never seen some of our people. I want to see how some of our people look. They look at us all the time. Put on your Sunday's best and get on up on camera now.
Do like Miss Nikki, Just a Brown Girl America said. She put on your eyebrows. You remember she said that? Let me put on my eyebrows. Okay. So we're good with that.
She finna jump on it now.
I'm waiting for her to respond and see what she says. But yeah, man. Go ahead, Every Day.
No, I'm saying it's open. So
I'm gonna pull up the next thing. This is. Oh, she said no. I was just wondering. I hadn't heard anyone call in.
Okay. Oh, she ain't got on her Sunday's breast. She ain't got on her eyebrows. She ain't got on her butterfly wings.
Her Sunday hat.
We here next week.
Yeah, because I'm gonna get ready. I gotta get ready to get off. I gotta go, fellas.
It's all right. I hold down the fort for a while. I'm here. I'm here and get some chicken for my kids. Some chicken at JJ's, nigga.
But man, I gotta get up out of here, fellas. Man, I'm peep y'all. Probably get in traffic or whatever, because the mission study coming in here talking about. I thought we was gonna leave at this. I thought we was gonna leave at that.
Yeah.
I thought we was gonna leave right here. I thought we was gonna leave right there.
Like you said, you're gonna keep us in your prayers. Which is fine. Ain't nothing wrong with being in somebody's prayers. It's fine.
But hey, man, salute to y'all, man. I'm gonna holler at y'all though next week though.
Yes, sir.
All right, bro.
All right. So Cultivate said little mascara goes a long way. Facts. That's it. That's all. Okay, Every Day. Where did it go? All right. While I'm pulling it up, man, What you got playing today?
I gotta drop my kids off at Naps and Beauty crib. They going to
And
see
then
what's the little movie with the little scary looking teddy bear? Is it called Freddy?
like Freddy's Five Nights or something like that.
Yeah, I'm
Five Nights
asking
at
you,
Freddy's.
Naps and Beauty. What's that y'all going to see? You and Jazzy and that boy.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Five Nights with Freddy.
Oops, wrong button. I did that wrong. God dang it.
Oh, and then as soon as I get this chicken, I'm going to go back, and my mother asked me to shovel some snow, man. It's crazy.
You say, what's wrong with that?
I don't live here. Nah, I mean, I shoveled earlier. I shoveled like last week. You know what I mean? And then some more snow. It's fine though. You know, I'm just talking shit.
Desiree said, how much snow did y'all get? I don't know. I know today I was about to go run an errand before the pod, and I saw how much snow was on my car. I was like, never mind.
Let me see. That's a good question. Let's move on to the next subject too while we're waiting on it.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now.
It says around here we got 3.5 inches of snow. So that coupled with today. That coupled with whatever we had earlier in the week.
Not bad.
Does it look African?
Okay. Thank you guys for kicking with us. Share this with 2 people. Let them know that your favorite After Church podcast is live, talking about this conversations that's going on right now. So this is one that came across my purview, and I wanted to get the guys' opinion about it. So this one is a little bit more on the serious side. We've been talking to the light subjects today, but apparently there is a huge push we've been talking about there's a huge push to get illegals out of the United States, but President Trump is particularly focused on Minneapolis, Minnesota, and the Somalians. So my question, I'll ask the questions at first and then we'll watch the video. My question is, actually, let me get the question up. Hold on. My question was, do you think the Somali population is so massive in Minnesota that it is necessary to pause immigration from other countries as well? So let's check it out.
Pausing immigration applications from 19 non-European countries. They're shifting enforcement efforts to the Twin Cities, home to the nation's largest Somali population. ABC's Rachel Scott reports on what the president said about Somali immigrants and how local leaders are responding.
This morning, ICE preparing to ramp up enforcement operations in Minnesota as President Trump lashes out at immigrants from Somalia, saying we don't want them in our country, and continues to attack Democratic Congresswoman Ilhan Omar.
We're going to go the wrong way. Garbage into our country. Ilhan is garbage. She's garbage. Her friends are garbage. These aren't people that work. These aren't people that say, let's go, come on, let's make this place great. These are people that do nothing but complain. They complain. And from where they came from, they got nothing. You know, they came from paradise, and they said, this isn't paradise. But when they come from hell, and they complain and do nothing but bitch, we don't want them in our country.
Minnesota is home to the nation's largest Somali population. Multiple law enforcement officials tell ABC News that ICE is preparing for a surge operation in the state, focusing on St. Paul and Minneapolis as early as this week. The city's mayor says police won't help ICE when they arrive.
Targeting Somali people means that due process will be violated. Mistakes will be made. And let's be clear, it means that American citizens will be detained for no other reason than the fact that they look like they are Somali.
The mayor of St. Paul saying this.
The words that launched this American experience start with we the people. And I believe that the sacred moments in American history are the moments we've had to decide who the we is. Who gets to be included in the we? Do we mean black people? Do we mean women? Do we mean immigrants?
The president criticizing Somalis for weeks now, terminating temporary protected status for Somalis and writing, send them back to where they came from. And this morning, the Trump administration cracking down on immigration nationwide, pausing all immigration applications for people from 19 so-called countries of concern, including Somalia, Afghanistan, Venezuela, and Sudan.
Rachel Scott, ABC News.
Jerry, do you want to turn your camera off or no?
Yeah, I'll try that.
All right, cool. So let's see.
Okay.
Desiree said, I just changed my name to my, oh, wow. Cultivate said Trump is going to Trump. Ridiculous. Okay, Cultivate. So the question on the table right now is, do you think the Somali immigrants and Somalian immigration in the U.S. is so bad that it's necessary to pause immigration applications for apparently 19 other countries?
Is it so bad? I'm not sure, man. You've been to Minnesota?
Yes, I went there once, and it was like, for lack of a better term, I don't want to say apocalypse, but it was like, where are the Americans?
Okay, so I'm assuming you've been there recently?
It was maybe a couple years ago, 2 or 3 years ago.
Post-COVID? So post-COVID. Yeah, I mean, there is a lot of Somalis out there. There's a lot of, I think they call Hmongs. They're like some type of Asian. I forget where they're from, but yeah, Hmongs maybe. I think there's more Hmongs than there's Somalis out there. I think that Somalis, a lot of them hold political office, and the Somalis have been very critical of Donald Trump. So, Trump is very petty. And I feel like, he kind of he's gonna go out his way to, kind of show you, hey, I'm boss around here. But do I feel like there's that sizable I think it's only maybe, 100, 150,000 Somalis. So, but one thing I also want to also do is I want to segregate Somalis from Black people, because Somalis themselves, they don't classify themselves as Black, regardless of what the United States see them as. They claim that they're not Black, so they're not Black. Cool. Well, what was the question again? Because I also wanted to answer the question. Is it a sizable enough population to, basically do what he's doing? I don't think so. But I think what he's saying, he's doing what he's doing because, they're taking advantage of the system. That's what he says. I'm not sure if I really agree with that, but I'm sure there are people that's taking advantage of the system, because everybody takes advantage of the system in all walks of life and all races and creeds.
I guess now that I'm thinking about it, I asked kind of a disingenuous question. Now that I'm thinking about it, because I looked up what percent of the Minnesota population is Somalian, and not what percentage. Well, it says while exact. I'll put it on the screen. And I know you're not looking, but this is just for the people that watch the playback. Let's see. So I just typed in what percentage of Minnesota is Somali. It said, while exact percentages vary, Minnesota has the largest Somali population in the U.S. with estimates around 80,000 people, making them roughly 1 to 2% of the state's total population, which is 6 to 7 million people, with the most concentrated at the Twin Cities.
Right. So I guess I was even over it. So I gave them 100, 150,000. Somebody say 80,000. I mean, they're very. I think they probably only concentrate in the big areas. I mean, they wouldn't be across Minnesota as a whole. So you're going to be in your Minneapolis, St. Paul, and maybe whatever surrounding suburbs there is. If you go to the mall, the Mall of America, you can see them a lot out there. But those seem like the type of people, they're going to be in their own community. They don't make strides to. It's actually like Washington State. Actually, you ever been to Seattle?
No.
So I've been to Seattle twice, and if you go to Seattle, Seattle has a sizable, what one could consider a sizable population of Ethiopians. And there's a lot of Ethiopians in DC. You've been to DC though, right?
Yeah.
So
But
yeah, I don't know. It's like why the attack on the non-European countries when a lot of European countries, especially Eastern Europe, that Eastern Bloc, they're some of the most they're some of the most criminal, like uh Albania and Ukraine. Like these guys are known to do some type of scandalous criminal shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like for real. I'm not even making this up. Like if you're gonna do that, why not just do it across the board on basically all countries?
yeah, I think this is another reason why I think I asked the disingenuous question, because the question made it seem like he's focusing on Somalis specifically, even though he is hyper focused on them right now. Yeah, he's been focused on immigration in general since before his presidency, second presidency. So I think, one of the major things that I think is causing him to focus on is what you said, and I couldn't find a particular video about it, but I'm sure you've seen it because you mentioned it. Apparently there's a lot of fraud going on with them. A lot of, or maybe not even fraud, but manipulation of taxpayer dollars. Because I've seen a lot of videos, and unfortunately I didn't save them or anything, but a lot of videos talking about how Somalian people in particular are they'll get link, whatever the Minnesota equivalent of link, or governmental assistance, food stamps, whatever. They'll use it, get stuff, get food for their restaurants, and sell, make food, use the food that they use with the link card and sell it at the restaurants for like almost a double profit.
Yeah.
It's like you got the food for free, and then you turn around and sell that for free, even though you don't even need it.
Right.
Which is, that was already going on before they got here, or whatever the case. I agree. I know that. And it's like, I think, man, I wish I had the video. I wish I could find the videos, but it's like somewhere around billions of dollars is being calculated about the amount of stuff the amount of, financial manipulation of taxpayer dollars is going on in Somalia. I mean, in Minnesota from the Somalians. And then too, as well, and I was thinking about this the other day, maybe even yesterday, these different, groups of people, not necessarily Somalians, but, Guyanese people, Jamaican people, whatever the case, these people that have a darker hue, those people tend to not amalgamate with American Black people. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like those people, when it comes time to take the blame for something being that bad happened, or bad behavior in some sort of way, a crash, some drug deals, some fights, or whatever, they'll separate themselves and say that, oh, that's Black people, that's not us. We Somalians, we're this group of people. That's not us. When it comes time to get some money, talk about doing something good, getting some like line in pockets. Oh yeah, we're all Black. We should all get that. But let's see. Desiree said, I don't know about men, but Trump be acting up. He said, Desiree said, only 1%, please, DPMO. Shout out to the DPMO morning show. Facts J, he never goes for the European immigrants. OG said, is it because they're Black? I want you to respond to this, Jerry Day.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Spaces, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. Again, I'm gonna keep saying that they don't want to be classified as Black, so I won't classify them as Black. And like that, you know, like they don't want to be classified as black. I don't classify them as black. Uh, as far I've been saying this for a long time, man. You got to let these other quote unquote, so quote unquote black people from the diaspora. You got to let them hold their own. You got to let them hold their own failures. Like if they want to accept, if when they're doing well or whatever, they create an invention. It's the first Somali to do this and the first Somali to do. I bet. And if a Somali shoots some shit up, don't make it black. Just it's the Somalis that did that. But again, I'm not sitting here to attack the Somalis. What I'm going to sit up here and say is that why not focus on the Europeans as well? Because that European bloc, the Eastern bloc, has a lot of scamming going on. They do a lot of forging of documents, and I know that personally. Like I'm not gonna say on air how I know. I just know, right? Like from a very good source that this is what they do because they're on the list. So nobody's bringing that up. Again, welfare, and we talk about welfare fraud. Welfare fraud is 1% of where the money actually goes.
I get so while you're talking, I found one of the videos that I saw, and I think this video is a pretty good summarization of what's going on. Let's see. Okay.
Y'all, man, Donald Trump said some shit that I think all of us wanted to say, man. Especially when people come here and get all the good graces of the United States of America, everything that their hearts and dreams and desires to get. But then you got people like Ilhan Omar and individuals that's from other countries who migrated here and became a congresswoman, whatever the hell you are. You complain about how bad the U.S. is and how great your country is. Well, bitch, if it's so bad, then won't you take your ass back to Somalia? Like Donald Trump said, all y'all do is come over here and bitch about how bad this country is. But I promise you, if we didn't open the door up for y'all asses, you'd probably be dead. So you mean to tell me you're going to come here and scam the U.S. and send that shit back to your country using our welfare system to fund terrorists? And yes, y'all motherfuckers fund terrorists. They skim off the top. I mean, come on now. When the last time you heard somebody say, we booking a trip to Mogadishu? Bitch, please. I mean, the same thing. Come over here and demand. And it's so crazy that our leftists and young people are so brainwashed. Even black people on our side, they want to fight for these illegal immigrants.
Hello?
If you took your ass to Honduras or Colombia and did the shit that they do here, bro, your black ass wouldn't even make it. They would ship your ass right on off. It just defies logic, some of the stuff that I hear these people fight for, man. Bro, again, if the U.S. ain't shit, if the U.S. is so bad, if the U.S. is so racist, and you come from another country, like Donald Trump said, you can bitch, but won't you take your ass back home and fix that shit? You won't. I mean, we have the most blessed, generous nation in the world, but it's so crazy that people feel like they are entitled to it. No, you're not entitled to it. Especially like Donald Trump said today, you add nothing to the system, nothing but hands. Even if you came here as a refugee, even if you came here as a asylum seeker, that just didn't automatically give you the right to go into the welfare system and live off of it for the rest of your life. Let's think about TPS. Yes, temporary protected status. Bro, everyone wants you to be protected and to stay here and to get here and not have to leave. But everybody forgets the fact of the matter is temporary. Bro, the left, you want.
Yeah. OG said, who is this dude? This is a TikToker that I came across, a video that I came across.
Yeah,
but,
I mean,
have you heard JVD specifics on the amount that is being investigated as far as the amount of fraud having to deal with them?
No, I haven't heard specifics. But I also like to say is that you get all these other groups that come over here talk about how good their country is. Like Somalis aren't the first group or only group of people that I've heard say that. Like a lot of them come over here and say, I mean, hell, we put on the podcast where we heard like the Mexicans saying that. So, I mean, if that's how they feel, that's whatever. You know, It's whatever. I don't trip on none of that. I think again, you know, Minnesota is real lily white outside of um outside of St. Paul, Minneapolis. It's real lily white out there, and they're real generous when it comes to. I'll say they're real generous when it comes to welfare. Uh, there's a lot of black people that moved to that area back in the 80s, 80s and 90s, and Minnesota has been known to be real generous when it comes to welfare. So, it, look, this group is taking advantage of the system like everybody else is. I look at it. But if we're talking about fraud and stuff like that, you gotta. I mean, we gotta start hitting this all across the board. All across the board.
Yeah, man. The number that I've heard as far as the amounts for fraud is somewhere around the billions.
Billion?
Yeah, somewhere. I don't know if it's like $500 million or $1 billion, but because I was trying to, you know what? I got another video. I'm gonna speed it up so we don't. It's only like
is that food stamp fraud or what is this?
It's between food stamp. It's between like the Section 8, governmental assistance. It's in the billions for them specifically. For them to be, at least in Minnesota, 80,000 people.
Yeah. So I guess the blame is though, as the state of Minnesota, how do you allow that?
That's the part of the investigation because this is Tim Walz's state.
Right, and they're white. So how do you allow that? And what else is being stolen? Because if you're allowing Somalis to steal, I don't know, $1 billion, then what else is being stolen in the process?
There you go.
I always look, the movie More Money. Maybe I brought it back up on the podcast before. More Money. When Damon Wayans, he was like, he cuffed one of the credit cards. He stole one of the credit cards, and he was taking Station Dash out and shit. And then his manager caught wind of him, and his manager told him, basically, you know what I'm saying, you gonna steal this shit for us? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That's always resonated with me. Like, bro, there's also yeah, we're gonna let you steal, but we're gonna be doing some stealing over here too. And it's gonna be a way more amount than what these guys are doing.
Yeah, man. And that's ultimately the main reason why I wanted to talk about this is because like we said, a lot of people, not somebody, a lot of people stealing. A lot of people stealing. And it's like, man, this is just the area of focus for now, as far as Trump's focus. And I'm curious to see what the actual number is going to be, because if they're talking billions, a lot of people's heads are going to roll. A lot of people are going to jail. A lot of people getting sent back home. And you know what's crazy? I've heard stats about a huge portion of the Somalian population. I don't know if it's just in America or if it's Somalia in general, but that's what you're shoveling.
Yeah, I'm finna. Yeah, some bullshit.
A lot of them are inbreds.
Hold on, I got a son, boy. Hold on. Let me go get him. Go ahead. I'm listening. I'm out here. I forget. I got kids.
I was wondering when you said you was you shoveling. I'm like, I don't want to be that person. Like, don't you got kids? At least a son.
Yeah.
Cultivate said, it's all smoke and mirrors with the game of chess when it comes to those in power. Everyone has their hand in the pot. Facts. And we're gonna talk about some stuff some stuff that I heard, but I didn't want to bring it up as far as I didn't want to bring it up because I don't think I have enough context about how it's gonna work. So once more details come out, and I think it's worth the conversation or enough to me, at least to bring it to here so we can have a conversation, I'll let y'all know and we'll talk about it. But we had a couple more subjects to talk about, but I want to talk about it when Maul is here. Do you have anything else you want to talk about, JD, before we go?
Yeah. The one I sent, actually. We could talk about that. Okay. I could get some crowd interaction.
Which one?
Sent it to the group. I'm not sure if I sent it to. It's like an O'Shea video.
I don't see it in our group.
Hold on 1 second. Let me give you the thumbs up for it.
Cultivate, what you got planned today? What you doing? Making some brisket tacos?
There you go.
Yeah, I remember. Let's see here. Let's see. Reply to it. Like so it's at the bottom.
Oh, you didn't get the thumb up for it?
Yeah, I saw the notification, but I'm still scrolling. I know which one you're talking about though, because I saw it too. Hold on, let me restart. Hold on. What was it about?
I gave it a reply to it.
If you see how it looks on my screen, it didn't do it.
Hold
on. Oh man. Let me see, because I remember which one you were talking. There we go. Okay, got it. Oh, I didn't see this one. Okay. Let's see. Let's get to it. Pulling it up right in his owl. Okay, I'm gonna speed it up because it's. And you would just let me know when you want to stop it.
I'll let you know in different points of the video.
Okay. Shout out to O'Shea.
In the early 2000s would be shaped in Atlanta by an interesting guy, a brother by the name of Lil Jon. And for those of you who remember the group Lil Jon and the East Side Boys and the I Like Them Girls song, yes, he was the definition of crunk rap. And a lot of us from Northern California, we got introduced to Lil Jon by Too Short. And obviously we know what would happen with that. And, he would end up making Tell Me When to Go. I mean, Lil Jon is a legend, right? And because of Lil Jon's progression from being a DJ to being, a producer / rapper, he got a lot of opportunities. And Jon would end up obviously falling in love with a chick by the name of Nicole Smith, okay? And this is important because they were married for a long time. He met her, I believe, in like the late 90s. She's from Memphis, from what I understand. And Lil Jon grew up in a middle-class neighborhood, but anyways, he would end up falling in love with her, and they would get married, all right? After getting married, obviously, and they're still technically married, they would separate. They separated in 2022. I'm not sure if they're still legally married now. And then that was that. However, on Thanksgiving, we ended up seeing an interesting post from Lil Jon, and it read, "This Thanksgiving, our hearts are full and so is the love. Happy 1-year birthday to our baby girl, Nahara. A lifetime of blessings ahead. Alhamdulillah." Okay, we would see that. And then we would see the photo of the new lady, and her name is Jamila Zada. Okay, I don't know where she's from, but definitely Middle Eastern. She kind of has that Persian Arabic vibe. And so once this picture was posted, it was a whole bunch of commentary from people from the community. But first, I want to get back to something that I heard Cat Williams say once before.
I've never seen them have anything that I ever wanted. If you sign up for their program, you get a light-skinned, weird-faced wife that never do an interview. In 20 years, she do an interview. Nobody's ever talked to her, and she's never been interviewed anywhere.
Cat Williams says, once you join their little system, you get a light-skinned wife, typically unattractive with a weird face, that never doesn't interview, never say anything, right? And I thought that was interesting because this lady here, the first comment I saw was, he kept his life private. Happy Thanksgiving. Damn, she called it out. And this is exactly what William said, word for word. This is the kind of woman that they always get. Let's go to Antonio. Her body language and eyes are telling Lil Jon, better have them assets in your mama's name. Why do every celebrity wife look the same like clone Kardashians? Then you hear this person, turn the cloning machine off. And I kept hearing this. I kept actually reading this rather. And again, like, these black men, they have a black wife, leave the black wife. You come from Atlanta and then you get something that's so far removed from what made you who you are. Then the person goes, hey, I thought this was Erica Minion.
Got him.
They all marry the same racially ambiguous woman. This person says,
Hey, pause that.
Woman was genuinely interested in.
So yeah, I was curious. What do you think about that? I mean, because Cat Williams, I think he's alluded to that. Cat Williams said they all marry the racially ambiguous woman once they, I guess, hit some type of status. First they're with the black girl, and then they move. I guess they move on. What do you think about that? In chat as well.
Yeah, I think I'm in 100% agreement with this analyzation.
Yeah.
I see that a lot, and it gets to a point where it gets bothersome sometimes because I'm real big on marry whoever it is, go where you celebrate it, not where you tolerate.
Uh-huh.
I'm real big on be with the person that works for you, right? And
right.
I'm real big on that. Even more than that, though, I want to see more black families, black men with black women, and vice versa. How, obviously. I don't understand how I see with so many celebrities, males in particular, with females as well, but males in particular, how you end up with like what they were saying in the comments. The same blueprint of kind of woman.
Agreed.
I don't see how y'all keep ending up with them. And I don't know. I think there's some conspiracy aspects to it that go behind it. Like I've heard conspiracy that when you're a black man in the media, in order to continue being a black man in the media, it's kind of a prerequisite / kind of a requirement or a pressure for you to not marry a black woman. Like it's also like I don't know. It's sad because I personally like seeing black families. I like seeing black men and women together. So to see that so many men in particular, like you can find one, like you're a famous person.
Yeah. You say
Like,
you're a famous person.
You have no shortage of women around you. And it's tough to say that with all of these men, all of y'all are finding the one non-black woman that is the kind of woman that you want.
Right.
Go ahead. I'll go
no,
ahead.
I was going to also say, and like you think about him, he's, I'm not sure if he still lives in Atlanta, but dude, you're in Atlanta. Like, there's a plethora of black women, successful black women. I just don't. But I guess one would ask, well, what about Denzel? What about LeBron James? They're still with their black wives.
Right.
And, for Denzel, I'm not, can't really comment on that because he has been with his black wife for a long period of time. But I say for LeBron, he's still, fairly young, and the end of his career is near, right? So we can only say for how long is he going to be with Savannah? I'm not wishing, any bad or anything on them. I hope they stay together. But yeah, it's just a real interesting dynamic when, a black man has some money or some means and, they go off and they go marry somebody from a different culture, race. I think we showed, is his name, what's the Smith guy? Forget his name, the black billionaire. He's like the richest black billionaire in the United States. The Richard Smith or
Richard Smith.
Yeah, Richard Smith. He's married to a white woman I know he's out of Colorado somewhere. And to me, it just shows that when you're a black person or black man specifically, um, and you kind of work like let's say a regular 9 to 5, these women don't even look at you. Or maybe they'll look at you, but you know what I mean? They're not really serious about you for the most part. Not saying that, you know, and I'm talking about kind of like the ones the really attractive group, somebody from a different group, they're really attractive. They're not really paying attention to you. It's not until you really get the bag, really get the money, that they're okay with, dealing with you. At least that's my opinion, of course.
So I'm looking at, because I see that that he's married to a white woman.
Yeah.
This says in 2015, Smith married Hope Dwarzik, a former Playboy model, television host, reality star, and skincare entrepreneur.
See, Playboy model. Fuck out of here.
Be humble. Where you been hiding at, man? We just had a good conversation. You would have been a good voice to kick in with.
Be humble. What up?
What's good, David? Cultivate said they're forced to do so. By whom I don't know, but I'd like to know because I'm curious as to why. Handler, maybe. Well, I'm gonna tap into my mall bag real quick. You know why. You know why.
And what's the why?
I'm a firm believer that, there is a push for there to not, how do I say it? For there to not.
Go ahead and be politically incorrect, man. They got to get that bread back to white society. Or some other society. If that's the direction that you were gonna go, because that's the direction I go. Like, even look at Byron Allen. Who he married to?
That's not where I was gonna go with it, but I like yours better. Byron Allen wife. Jennifer. Whoa. Let me show the people. This is a mountain of Caucasus. Sheesh.
He's married to Jennifer. What?
Jennifer Lucas.
Jennifer Lucas. He's married to a Jennifer Lucas. Interesting.
Yeah, you gotta get the bread back to white society. That's a better phrasing than what I was going to say. I was just going to say there's a push for there to not be, black families at that level of financial influence.
Right. I mean, let's look at Michael Jordan. We just talked about him. He was with his wife he basically, he was with Juanita, and then, I guess he filed for divorce. Now who he's with?
You see, I know you're moving. I don't know if you saw Cultivate message. She said even Wanda Sykes is married to a white woman.
There you go. I mean, he ain't married, but he's worked for Billy. What's up with Tyler Perry? I'm just saying, man.
Ooh, I wish I had the soundboard.
I'm just saying. I mean, things get real questionable once you start making a certain amount of money. All I gotta say as far as that. Anybody else want to chime in? You didn't have to play the rest of it. It was just kind of that part. It just seems like, the more money that black people make, or black men specifically, or even black women. So, I mean, look at Serena. It's just so many people that you can kind of point to, the quote unquote the A-listers in the black community, and they tend to go with somebody else that's from a different race. The same as us.
Now, here's a question about that. Could we say that? What about? Okay, so it's different when Or would you say that it's different when a black man marries a white woman versus when a black woman marries a white man?
No, I would
Because
say, well, normally,
go ahead.
no, I was going to say, normally when the black woman, as far as financially, is marrying a white man, she's more financially well off than he is, right? Serena Williams. Only other case that I could think of that maybe that didn't happen is the wife of the Star Wars. What's the dude named Lucas? I can't think of his name. But anyway, his wife is black. His wife is black. But look at what Robert De Niro and what happened with his wife. Look what's going on with y'all, one of y'all favorite comedians, Gary Owens, and his wife. Like,
So, and that's what I'm trying to. That's why I'm having kind of trouble drawing a parallel with the white man and black woman versus black man and white woman, because if the goal is to bring the bread back into, non-black families or whatever,
yes,
wouldn't white men marry white women and not black women?
right, but they at the end of the day they end up keeping all the money. Like the white side end up keeping all the money. Look at David Bowie and his estate. There's plenty of examples like that. But look at Halle Berry and who she's married, throughout the past. Yeah, she's married some black ones. She's married some white ones. The white ones was way less well off than she was.
Yeah, I didn't know. I never thought about the net worth of the people involved in comparison to each other.
Yeah.
I never thought about that.
And if we do percentages, like where is it that another group is marrying somebody outside their race when it comes to their economics? Like if you have a black person worth a certain amount of money, on the higher echelon, where is it that another group, again, we could say whites or Asians, they're marrying somebody that's non-Asian or somebody's non-white? Do it happen? Sure. And we point to it? Sure. Can we point to it on the level that we can point to showing that, black athletes, black entertainers are marrying somebody outside of their race? Again, most black men do marry black. I'm just saying once you get to a certain echelon, it's like, okay, we want that money back into white society. We're going to make sure that you're not going to pass that along. I mean, shit, what's going to happen to Bill Cosby estate? Yeah, he's married to a black wife, but his son died. His son got killed.
So you're saying there, no, one way or the other, there's going to have to be, for lack of a better term, a sacrifice.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. Again, it sounds probably conspiratorial, which is fine, but it makes for fun talking points, I guess. But I do believe that somebody else has a hand in this. If all the women look the same, essentially has right, they all got the same looking features. Like none of y'all are picking women that are a little more exotic or even just staying with black, just with black women. Black women come in all shades and colors. I'm not saying you have to, but I'm just saying, like, what's up with that?
I am thoroughly enjoying this conversation because people in the chat are chiming in. I'm looking at these people at these people's comments. I'm looking at people's comments and like Cultivate said Lord Lightfoot married a white woman. That's so weird to say.
Cultivate, you funny as hell.
Then I think Desiree said it earlier. Was it Desiree, the owner of Netflix, married a black woman?
Yeah,
Melody Hobson.
Mm-hmm.
But I would wonder. See, I would have to do some research that had to be done offline. Because so testing out your theory, you said a lot of times, not all the time, but a lot of times, when a black woman marries a white man, the black woman is more well off than the white man.
Yeah, a lot of times, not all the time.
Yeah, I'm like, I can't imagine her being worth more than Buddy.
Right, but then even then, you got to ask yourself, what's the clause in the marriage and stuff like that. You know, is it a prenup or, you know, those, is it possible that she can run away with, you know, most of his earnings after, you know, they split, if they do
Yeah,
split.
because we don't know the like the marriage contract or the prenup or postnup if they have anything like that.
Look at Tiger Woods. You know, that's another guy.
Yeah,
So
man.
these are all the top guys and, you know, what you would consider the black celebrityism.
Like their fields.
Yeah, they're the top of their fields. So I don't know. It's just something to look out for. Um, I don't know. Maybe they're really in love. What y'all think?
Yeah, well, what do you guys think? And then we'll close it out with that question.
Yeah, what you think, man? You think they really in love?
It's tough to say at that level, regardless, bro. Unless they've been through, unless they basically grew up together,
Right.
or
Which is
unless
the
they've been like,
Savannah and LeBron thing. They didn't grow up together, but you know, they've been
well,
getting together since high school.
yeah, for unless they, yeah, I say grown up. That's what I mean. Like been together for a long time. It's
Yeah.
tough to say from any angle, right? Because
Mhm.
a man, black or white, could be marrying a woman for her connections and her money and her opportunities, that the stuff that comes with her.
Right. And I agree, but where do you see that happening that black men are marrying a white woman for their money on the I'm talking about on this extreme scale of things, where it's like, well, this dude, he's a manager at Walmart, but then, you know, he's married to like a lawyer,
Ooh, David
a
said
white
LeBron
lawyer.
James doing whites.
You say LeBron James what?
His kids doing whites.
Yeah, yeah. It's like if they don't get them, they're gonna get the kids. I mean, look at Marcus Jordan. Look at Jeffrey Jordan. That's the oldest son.
Yeah, Jeffrey, that boy. Oh, that dude.
No. Jeffrey is the good one. Jeffrey is the good one. He's married to a Lebanese chick. I think he could still be at Nike or whatever. Marcus is the one you're talking about. That's the one who was messing with Larsa Pippen.
Which one was the one that had like he got his car stuck on the train tracks?
It's Marcus.
Okay.
Yeah. You heard I say he was messing with Larsa Pippen.
Right. Okay.
Which is Scottie Pippen's ex-wife,
Yes.
who happens to be somebody who's non-black. Yeah.
That's facts. That's facts. It's very, very interesting, man. It's very interesting. I think, like I said, if they weren't together for a long time, then it's tough to from either like, for instance, I think of Ludacris. His chick, I don't know, but let me see. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick.
I look at Amari Hardwick. He was with the white lady since for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Amari Hardwick married to the white lady. You know, they often kind of rag on her because, you know, people believe she's not the best looking person. You know, I guess for a guy his caliber, so they say. But she been with him for a long time, like since high school, I guess. Same with Ray Allen, I believe. You know, so I'm not saying that there isn't situations like that. What I'm saying is like
I would call it black.
when you uproot or when you all of a sudden just change who you dealing with. I don't know, there's something questionable there, at least to me.
Yeah, I get you because there's too many examples.
Yeah. And I'd like to see where, you know, because a lot of men have similar issues with women, whatever that is. What are they doing that at on the other side?
So I started to use the example of Ludacris, and I'm just going to put this on the screen because I don't think she's. I don't know. I'm indifferent, but so I just typed in Ludacris' wife because I see him and she's not anyway. So apparently she's Gabonese, which is Central Africa.
Yeah, that's how he was able to get the I know dual citizenship. No, he was kind of plugged as far as that.
But when I see her, it's like, okay,
she gives you light skinned black one,
light skin mixed.
And that's the deal. That's the deal with that. Like I don't. Because for a long, like when we beef about, like, not you, but when people complain about black men dealing with, light skin, or first they went light skin, oh, she's too light, but then after that, it's like, okay, well, you got to accept that she's still black. Now he's dealing with mixed women, and it's like, well, I don't know.
Desiree, you dropping bombs today. She says same with Travis Hunter. Him and his girl been together since they were in 9th grade. I do believe they love each other. No, she does.
No. First of all, she's older than Travis Hunter by like a year or two. So, and she been with him since 9th grade.
No, well, I don't know the specific details, and Desiree looks into this stuff, so she knows.
Okay,
more.
She might know more about that. I'm not sure if the way the lady comes off. I'm not sure she. I'm sure he loves her.
Right.
I'm sure he loves her. There's no doubt about it. Like, he loves her. Yeah, for sure.
So I know one thing I do know about that story is he shot his shot at her and she denied him. And then soon after, word about his football prowess came around. All of a sudden, he's her type now.
Right. Yeah, just toss it back that way.
Because I saw this video right here. Was it this one? Yeah. Oh, I don't even want to show this, yo.
Gotta go ahead and show it.
Yo. Can y'all see that? I don't know how small it is on the screen.
I'm sure.
So look, whenever he's looking away, she looks at him. Whenever he looks at her, she looks away. She turned away.
I don't know why that nigga be having that corny ass look on his face. Like,
I don't know if the music was playing. That's why I stopped. It's only 12 seconds long. Oh man, like you said, he in love with her for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Now I got it muted. Let's see. Desiree says, "Show it, Spaces." She turned her whole body away from him, yo.
And you know this. I mean, she waited until he got drafted and everything. And guess what? She got pregnant. She played the game. She played the game, man. She played the game. Travis Hunter, I think he's out for the rest of the season, if I'm not mistaken. So, but I don't wish anything bad between him and his wife's relationship. I don't know. Maybe she can. Seems like Desiree said, he's in love with the bag, and I don't know. Maybe she'll turn around. I don't know.
Hopefully. Fingers crossed. It's best. I hope it works out. On the flip side, if it doesn't, Guess who's gonna be talking about it?
Of course. But you know, shit, man. Like somebody said, man, you gotta bump their head. You know, gotta bump their head. They want to bump their own head. So whatever.
Cultivate said, the minute the bag slows down, she'll move around. Facts.
Like, boy, Cultivate, you should be a rapper or something. You should be a rapper. Oh yeah.
All right, we're gonna close it out. You got anything for the mesh? You want to throw? It's been a while since you gave one, man. You got anything?
Yeah, man. Yeah. I got something, man. You all stay blessed this holiday season. You know, don't get into any strife with anybody. You know, just stay safe, stay out the way. You know, when you go out there shopping, and you know, keep your head on the swivel. And that's basically it, man. You know, the message, is that, just enjoy your holiday season, enjoy it with the family, with your family. And that's it.
Thank you guys for kicking with us. And on this Sunday, 2 hour and 15-minute pod. Jay every day out there shoveling.
We working, baby. You know what I'm saying? See, I got a little helper. See, he thought he was slick. Yeah, that's
I'm sitting in the house warm while you shoveling.
yeah, eating. Yeah, not eating chicken. I'm like, man, hold on. I got a kid for this.
Cultivate. I think it was you last week that asked about a book. Now, this is an audio book that I listened to it on YouTube, and it's a pretty popular book, but there's a lot of lessons in it. And it's short too. It's like 3 hours, maybe 5 hours. It's called The Ant Farm. It was no Animal Farm. I'm sorry, The Animal Farm.
Oh yeah, Animal Farm was a classic by George Orwell.
Let's see here. I got the. Give me a second. I got you. Give you a little shortcut. I do the due diligence for you. Let's see.
They got the animated version too.
There you go. You got that. Drop the link in the chat for y'all.
You
This
hear
has
me,
been
Spaces?
another. What's that? The
They have an
animated
animated
book?
version. Yeah, well, yeah, it's an animated version. It goes with the book, them telling the story in the book, and then so you can look up the animated version as well.
I'm gonna check that out. I'm gonna type in animated right now. Okay, cool. I see some stuff here that's interesting. Oh, I think it's this one. Let me see. I'm only putting this in the chat so I can. He said that. Oh man, I think this is it. I'm not sure. It looked like it was it. But this has been another edition of your favorite after church podcast, the No Key Podcast. Maul had to drop out, but wear your crown, build your legacy, Kings. I've been your man. Spaces.
I'm Jay every day.
And Maul, like I said, Maul had to drop out. Let's meet and adjourn.
Luke.